Welcome to the APV Equipment Trade Show video. Come along as we explore a wide range of products and services available to professional videographers. Later, we'll hear from the trade show vendors themselves as they tell about the exciting new products that they have to offer. And finally, we'll look at the many APV programs and instructional materials available to you.
Hi, I'm George Litter from Tri-State Video. A little nervous here. We're from Tri-State Video is from a company just north of Pittsburgh here. We're JVC, Sony, and Panasonic sales and service, and industrial sales and service, I should say. We've got a booth back here in the corner of the room. And basically today I'm here to tell you a little bit about Tri-State Video. We'll start out, I understand most of you people are from not all just around the Pittsburgh area, but you're from out of state and stuff. So Tri-State Video is right here, okay? That's Tri-State Video. And for the people around Pennsylvania, there we go. Right down here in the corner, just north of Pittsburgh, a little town called Valencia, north of Pittsburgh. But seriously, no. Anyways, what we're here today, like I said, we're introducing a new product from Sony. It's a new Super VHS 5800 and 5600 edit system with the FXC 100. We brought a tape for you to watch. It'll give you a little bit of information on the unit. Then afterwards, we'll tell a little bit about the other units we're featuring also in our booth. All right, so we'll just let this go for you.
Sony has been at the forefront of developing professional video editing VTRs for decades. And now, Sony takes another big step forward. Introducing a new, attractively priced, sophisticated SVHS editing system. The SVO 5800 editing recorder and the SVP 5600 editing player, which inherit the unique design concepts found in our Betacam SP series VTRs. These models offer all the convenient operating features and functions required for professional video editing. Advanced digital time-based correction, SMPTE standard timecode generator reader, and an RS422A interface are all built into one compact unit. The new Sony SVHS VTRs will complement any professional editing environment, from a basic two-machine editing system to sophisticated AV roll editing suites.
Complexity in today's communications requires video production with maximum creativity and efficiency. Thus, the demand for an effective video editing tool which provides superb creativity is increasing tremendously. In mind, Sony introduces the FXC 100, an integrated video edit solution. In the FXC 100, the editor, video switcher, digital effects generator, and audio mixer are all integrated in a compact body. Chroma keyer, luminance keyer, and frame memory are also featured.
Down at our booth, we're featuring the newest JVC Edit Desk system, which is an affordable edit system with dual audio capability.
The RMG 800 lets you expand the Edit Desk system to do AV rolls. Plug a BRS 378 and a digital effects unit into the GPIs, and you'll have a simple but effective two-source editing system.
I've set it up so I've done an edit. I've cued what I want my B-roll tape to be at when the dissolve goes through. And now when I go to my GPI button, if I hit Shift GPI, it's going to send that B-roll tape back 5 seconds. Okay, and it'll go into pause. And then really all I have to do is just perform the edit. Because the GPI is going to trigger the dissolve in the Videonics digital video mixer. It's going to roll that forward at the exact right time, and it's going to perform the edit. So just press auto edit. My record tape goes back 7 seconds.
JVC Edit Desk solves those problems.
Rolls forward. Matches frame and does the dissolve. So those are the basic features of the Edit Desk system.
Down at our booth, we're featuring the Jostler Boom, a unique camera boom system by it was actually made by one of our own customers, Rick Reefer. And so if you want to stop down at the booth, get some hands-on each piece, even the Videonics MX1, the Sony system. And as I said before, also, there is a 40-minute tape available on the FXC 100. You stop down the booth, just put your name on a sign-up sheet, your name and address, we can get a tape out to you. All right, thank you.
Hello, I'm Jack from B&H. My colleague from Tri-State Video had the same idea as me. They asked us to speak. The easiest thing would be to bring some demo tapes. Because Sony and Panasonic could do it better than anything that we could do here. I have a tape here on the new Sony camcorder, the UVW100. The UVW100 is a Betacam SP. It's a one-piece unit that's relatively inexpensive to anything we've ever seen. So you get absolute broadcast quality at an approximate $10,000 price range.
Wake up and smell the coffee. Betacam SP is the professional video acquisition standard the world over. And now you can shoot with the big boys and girls and bring it home on Betacam SP gear. Because Sony's introduced the UVW100, a feature-packed, future-proof camcorder that is your ticket to the big league at a very affordable price. Now, just to let you know this is not all hype, we let this guy Mike take it for a spin fresh out of the box. Well, we could have given it to some hotshot like John or Jed or Joan, or for gosh sakes, even Steve. But we gave it to Mike, who's a regular dude.
I'm very much a one-man band production company.
Got the picture? He probably does stuff like you do, so we asked him to take this thing all over the map. And you know what he said?
It wasn't that bad.
Hey, Mike.
I think the camera's great.
Now, so much for the product plug. But why did he like it? Because we bought him lunch? Gave him a Sony t-shirt? Not. Because he put the camera through some pretty tough paces and it came through like gangbusters. Let's get real here. Think of all the places you're asked to shoot. Sure, there's the occasional plum shoot, but most of it's day in, day out stuff, all for tight bucks done yesterday, and don't forget that magic phrase, broadcast quality. So if you can do all that, you might get the contract of your dreams, make a small fortune, and all because you bought a UVW 100. It could happen. Check this out. Location number 1. Let's see. Crummy weather. Request for lots and lots of shots of inanimate objects. Poorly lit material. Yep, Mike's kind of shoot. And just the kind of shakedown cruise for the camera's automatic functions.
There's a lot of features that I can make automatic, or when I need more control, I can shut them off and work them manually. Putting on the auto gain control, it wasn't as though you were flipping it to 9 or flipping it to 18. It wasn't that sudden burst. It just took as much gain as it needed when it needed it. So it made for a nice, smooth transition that you could do live. The gains are adjustable. It's not just 9 and 18, it's mid and high, and you can set those at any level you want. Let's say you only want 5 decibels of gain, because beyond that your picture is not going to look just right. You set it for 5. That's a great function to have.
We've got different light sources here. I'm going to put on the auto trace.
The shot we did on the bridge of the Intrepid was a great example of where you can use the auto trace white balance. Exterior, middle of the day, 5600K all around. Turn and follow, and inside the bridge it was a combination of tungsten and mercury vapor lights. Putting on auto trace white was able to just stick with it.
Mike's tour of duty on the carrier gave him lots more time to find out how nifty Nido, the total level control system on this camcorder, really is. It's like a technology relay race. You see, over here you got your highlight levels, as in put on your shades. And over here you've got low light, maybe zip. Well, as your shot changes, these 3 features kick in seamlessly. Auto exposure, intelligent auto iris, and the automatic gain control. Outrageous, huh? Take it away, Mike.
And that was real handy on a shot like that. We were going from that real bright on-the-deck area of the helicopters into the bridge, which was really quite dark. And it looked good. It was nice and smooth. There were no harsh rampings. It made it a lot simpler and made it possible for just one guy with a camera to get that shot and have it look good.
Well, Mike could have shot in the dark and the drizzle and high overcast all day long, but all good things come to an end, and Mike was sent to that all-time #1 we love it location, the office, where he came face-to-face with the ubiquitous and quite frankly problematic
office computer. Mike took one look and said,
Clear scan is an absolute necessity.
and wouldn't you know it, this new UVW100 has a clear scan circuitry feature, allowing you to capture tons of cybernetic substance with nary a flicker.
And I would not even consider getting another camera unless it had it on.
That's what we like to hear, Mike. Go shoot those corporate canyons. While waiting for the next talking head to show up, Mike also got to check out the 1.5-inch viewfinder.
The viewfinder on this camera is great.
Which is what you'd expect him to say after he realized it gave him the capacity to check out a bucket of setup menus and status displays, and the item that really rang his chimes.
One thing I love more than anything is that you've got the time code in there going.
What will they think of next? Well, how about an option for the Anton Bauer Digital Magnum battery? Full time code capabilities, internal color bar generator, a detachable camera mic you could use handheld, an adjustable shoulder pad as in ergonomic, 2 channels of glorious audio, zebras, safety and center zone markers, and clean in-camera edits even after you've powered down to save the battery. Awesomeness, Pa. Well, if this is typical of one of your days on location, those days soon turn into nights. And in this case, not having had a meal break, Mike hit the wrong preset on the UVW100 and was sent back through the ages to medieval times, where he was really dazed as the knights and ladies and infidels of the realm appeared around him in all their glorious pageantry and color. Not only was he expected to capture all the action, he wasn't allowed to miss a beat of the 2 hours of goings-on. So he pulled out his trusty 26-pin VTR interface and dazzled the clients by dual recording all the horsey hoopla. Later dubbed Sir Records-A-Lot by the King and Queen, Mike explained how he did it all.
I was dual recording with the BBW50, had the 26-pin plugged into it, and was able to stop and start that deck independently of stopping and starting this. You got 3 separate settings, parallel, internal, and external, on the trigger. You can control it anyway. Especially going to be handy when I'm doing recordings of conferences where you have to record, let's say, 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 hours straight.
Sounds like fun, Mike. And indeed, while the 10 Lords of Leaping continued to bash each other without so much as a hint of chivalry, Mike's mind raced ahead to his next conference recording job until he could contain himself no longer, finally blurting out,
I'm real excited about it.
As the show ended, Mike conveniently triggered his ultralight from the UVW100 and grabbed some priceless audience reactions.
Adam, how'd you like it?
Good.
Next, Mike got close enough to smell the horses and capture some great dramatic reversals and close-ups to weave into the final production.
Perfect.
Then everybody decided to get really creative.
They were moving at full gallop. Dropped it into just 250 shutter, and it looked great in playback, and I know it's going to look really good when we do slow-mos later on with it.
The toughest camera in all the realms.
Knowing this camcorder is built with the ruggedness and durability of a pneumatic machine, Mike went for the ultimate POV shot. Need we say, don't try this at home.
Nobody covers a story like Sony.
Okay, guys, want to see some of it?
Yeah.
With enough drama for one day, the client descends on Mike, yanks him back to the present, and holds him accountable for his day's work. With the aid of the VA300 color playback adapter, Mike shows the client that the Knights really saw stars.
It looks really nice. You can go a whole lot of generations down and it just looks super.
There's a nice reverse shot. That's a great shot.
That is.
So it's a wrap, and Mike thinks about what to do with all this meticulously metal tape-recorded imagery.
It's Betacam SP, full component quality. It looks good now. It's going to look good in the future. You've got Beta SP tapes. You can take them to any post house anywhere. This is the good stuff. This is the real stuff. It's, Betacam.
So go get one. Connect to the future with a Betacam SP UVW100 camcorder from Sony, and then you might be like our guy, Mike.
You guys going to let me keep it?
Sure, Mike. It could happen.
We'll talk about the battery power. For people who want to buy a camera like this, the 2 big competitors in the industry would be Anton Bauer and a newcomer from Oregon called NRG. When you buy a professional 3-chip camera, be it Sony, Panasonic, JVC, Hitachi, Toshiba, a lot of people buy plug-in batteries that cost anywhere from $100 to $150. They require expensive chargers, and they just don't do the job. They can only run the camera possibly for 20 minutes. Even though a professional camera is a 12-volt camera, 12-volt batteries don't do the trick because after like 20, 30 minutes, they drop below certain levels and the cameras have to drop off. So we recommend a more professional powering option. One of these options is called the NRG Power Belt Series. In batteries, there's lead acid and there's NiCads. Lead acids are memory-free, so that's good, but they are very, very heavy, and they are not made for high-capacity drawing equipment like lighting or a professional camera. They're also very cheap. NRG took the lead in NiCad batteries, and he's eliminated the memory problems that's associated with NiCad. So now what we have is a very lightweight 7-pound solution. This is a 13 volt, not a 12 volt, it's a 13 volt, which will power a professional camera for about 3 to 4 hours from one battery.
Feel the weight of it.
It weighs 7 pounds. Also what he does is he gives you 2 outputs. Just put the belt back on. It weighs 7 pounds. It can power a camera and the second device like a light. It has a 5-color warning indicator when you're going down. And also has 2 inputs. So what I can do is if I see it going down, all I have to do is buy an extra cell pack, stick this in, rip off the Velcro and put another on, the additional cell pack on, so I will never go down. I could be powering cameras for 5-6 hours. Again, it's very lightweight. It will never fail you. This will run about 2,500 life cycles, which is about 6 times more than lead acid. B&H stocks this for about approximately $500 with an overnight charger. Oh, here come the speakers. That's good. And it's a whole system. He has also a quick charger, which will give you an 80% charge in about 45 minutes. And there's a whole line of lights. Comes with optional outputs, either 2 cigarettes, 2 cigarette plugs, or 1-in-1.
Cinemagic is a media technology company. We specialize in providing digital video technology, especially in the nonlinear arena. Nonlinear digital video is, of course, sweeping the video markets at all levels, from professional newscasts to post-production houses to event videographers to small operations that are basically people working out of their houses. The advantage to it, obviously, is in the fact that you're able to really speed up a lot of the processes involved in the editing processes and also work within a different framework type of concept. That framework concept means that you start building the pieces like a jigsaw puzzle. You start with the outside of it, and then you work further inward from that point in time, which can really change the overall concept with the way you work with video. A lot of the problems with traditional linear video are that you're embedded into literally planning out everything in advance, because once you get it down on tape, hey, you're stuck with it. With the nonlinear system, you can start in a different fashion. You can start to build your framework and then go finer and finer details until you have a product that you can work with. At Cinemagic, our sort of philosophy behind all of this is sort of the concept that you need to find the right solution or the right system that's going to meet your needs. Media 100 is a nonlinear digital editing system coming from data translation out of Massachusetts. It's unique in the fact that it provides you instantaneous feedback to all edits directly on your NTSC monitor. It has a full component of additional software, including capability to work with CG, work with special effects, all of that basically in the base product. Some of the unique features also include the capability to batch redigitize, which basically means that you can record all of your video into the nonlinear system at a low resolution and then come back later on with just a simple EDL, and the system automatically redigitizes all of your video at whatever quality level you want, up to and including D2 quality.
Unlike other systems, Media 100 was conceived from the beginning as an online system. It's made for finished quality editing, not as an offline or rough cut edit system. But when we say high quality, what do we mean? The images on the left were edited together using conventional decks and Betacam SP tape. The images on the right were edited on Media 100, then recorded back to Betacam SP. Media 100 is digital, and Betacam SP tape is analog, so it's difficult to compare the two on a technical basis alone. So make up your own mind. How do you think they compare? We think the quality of Media 100 stacks up pretty well. And with Media 100, there are no artifacts, jaggies, dropouts, or generation losses normally associated with tape editing. So how does it work? Making audio and video go in and out of a computer requires tremendous computer power. With Media 100, 2 computer boards with several high-powered 32-bit processors provide unparalleled computing power. Other systems use off-the-shelf boards that simply don't have the processing power necessary to produce high-quality pictures. These systems degrade your pictures, actually take out picture information so they can play at 30 frames per second. A computer within the computer gives Media 100 the horsepower to produce 30 frames and 60 fields per second of full-frame video and 4 tracks of CD-quality audio. And because of a patented hardware system, the audio always stays in sync with the video. But that's not the best part. The best part is using Media 100, because nonlinear editing makes video fun. Media 100's design is elegant and simple. Just 3 standard Mac windows control all of the system's functions. The Edit Suite window is where you digitize your source video, modify transitions and effects, and trim clips. The Program window has your timeline and program tracks for video and audio. It's also where you create, edit, and play programs. It's like the record machine in a traditional Edit Suite. The Bin window is where you store and manage your source clips. So what's the second monitor for? It's so you can continually see a full-screen NTSC video image of your program. You don't have to change modes or compile your program so you can see what it will finally look like on tape. To make an edit, you just click on a few clips of video in the Bin window and drag them into the Program window, just like that.
I use Topaz, TIPS, and Rio on the IBM platform, the Pentium, and is rendered frame-to-frame to Beta SP and digitally mastered to D2. The product is offered in SVHS, VHS, high 8, and 8 millimeter. I get letters and phone calls and faxes from ideas from videographers literally across the world on what they are looking for to incorporate into their video. Since this morning, I've had all these ideas given to me of what they're looking for in future volumes. The Luminance Key capability animations are definitely growing in popularity as the hardware is becoming more affordable and a lot of videographers are learning more about it. Years ago, there wasn't that much demand for it. The equipment was not as sophisticated, but now it is definitely growing.
I'm Charles Wiegand from Wiegand Audio Video Labs near Newark, Ohio, about the center of the state near Columbus. The first tape that we looked at this evening was on the Pinnacle Aladdin. It's called an Aladdin media printer because it connects up to a PC computer with a SCSI interface, much like a printer drive does. However, it's a video device, and it's similar to a video toaster, only it's of higher quality, and it gives you 4 videos on the screen at once with 3 levels of keying, and it incorporates a high quality, well-filtered and averaged 3D DVE unit.
Imagine 4 simultaneous video sources with luminance and chroma keying. You can composite more elements in a single pass, reducing the number of generations and thus preserving the quality of your video. You can do it easily and quickly. Super clean image sizing means you can bring stills to life by emulating expensive motion-controlled camera rigs. You'll do it all with a few simple point-and-click motions, from the smallest detail to the complete still. You have total control. Aladdin's DVE lets you create very clean video inserts and picture-in-picture effects. Unlike other high-quality desktop systems, the digital processing in Aladdin prevents the video from becoming blocky as you size the image. Customize your DVE moves by creating keyframes as you go. Custom motion paths can be stored and replayed using other shots later in the edit session. Nearly 100 sample effects are included with Aladdin. You can customize these or create your own original effects, but that's only the beginning. Soon your effects library will contain hundreds, thousands of effects, because after you create a custom effect, you can save it for future use. Here's more Aladdin magic. Page turns with real-time interaction. Customize incredible page turns to produce exactly what you want, with dynamic highlights and shading for added realism. Aladdin's dynamic effects include water ripples, ball effects, and many more. Enhance your applying effects by applying a host of complex borders, from beveling to picture frames, crop shots to correct framing errors, or apply drop shadows for even greater 3D realism.
The next tape that we looked at was that of the video machine. This was a tape that was made about a year ago with M2 equipment on a Macintosh version of the video machine. It's not the non-linear version, which they now have, but it did show a lot of the things you can do with a video machine. And the PC version is less expensive, but it does exactly the same type of thing with 3 VCRs and 2-channel DVE and audio mixing and built-in TBCs and standards conversion and so forth.
With the Video Machine and Video Machine Studio software, you produce video from a timeline editor that's both versatile and easy to use. Just drag your defined video clips, graphics, titles, and transitions, rearrange them, or alter their durations, and always you are locked to timecode for frame-accurate precision. That enables you to perform A/B rolls with fluid, full-motion transitions. Or automatic AX edits for dramatic two-machine work. You can create engaging presentations of graphics and still images, sequenced live or to tape. Or set a series of painted skies into pure motion with frame-by-frame recording, all from one editor.
We have the TAO editizer for those who already have a toaster or an MX50 or an MX1 or whatever, and they want to upgrade that system without starting all over again with a video machine. If you're starting from scratch, it's much more cost-effective to go the video machine route. You can start out with a $2,500 list price board, go all the way up to a $40,000 system with a Pinnacle Aladdin and a non-linear and component and whatnot, so that you don't have to throw it away a year later and say, I outgrew it. You just keep on growing with it, and they keep coming up with more and more things the faster than you can come up with the money to buy them.
My name is Tony Guzzi, and I own a company here in Pittsburgh called Megabytes Incorporated. And what we do is we specialize in desktop video systems. What we do is we help people like you make a living the most inexpensive way and give you more time to go out in the field and shoot video and less time in the editing suite. We sell a product, actually lines of products, but one of the things that we sell is the video toaster. And what we brought to the show with us is a pretty unique piece of equipment manufactured by NewTek in Topeka, Kansas. And it's called the Flyer. And what it is a complete digital nonlinear editing system that allows you to do character generation, still stores, animation, and video in just a drag and drop interface. Some people may not be that familiar with computer-based editing systems, but the simplicity of this one is such that if you're not computer literate, you can learn to edit on this thing in less than 15 minutes. It's a relatively simple process of digitizing your video into a hard drive. And what NewTek has developed is a compression scheme called VTask. It's a copyrighted scheme. It's not like MPEG or JPEG where you have artifacting and data loss. This one has no data loss, and you have the ability to digitize your video in quality levels from SVHS through D2. What you get in is what you get out. If you wanted to make an exact duplicate of a VHS tape, you know, and you didn't want to lose quality, like when you copy from tape to tape, you get a pretty poor copy off of VHS, you get an exact duplicate. So if you need to go out and shoot your video and edit it and make 3 or 4 copies for people, you can do it right from your hard drives. You don't have to go out and hire a duplication service or worry about generation loss and develop on a master. Your master is a digital image. It will never change. It will never lose data. What it also allows you to do is it allows you to record your audio. So you can record your audio with video and it's always in sync. You have the ability to record separate audio as backgrounds. The whole package, okay, is very inexpensive. A toaster card is $24.95 retail. All right, the Flyer card is $49.95 retail. Now everybody says, well, that's great, retail prices, but you could basically put together a complete nonlinear editing suite, A/B roll, with audio and everything you need to do from start to finish, less the record and play deck, for less than $20,000. That's pretty phenomenal in this day and age, considering A/B roll decks and manual edit controllers and time code and everything else. And the time to do it probably costs you in the neighborhood of $30-some to $40-some thousand, depending on the decks you use. We try to match a desktop video solution to each individual's requirements. You know, we don't sell you 2 9-gigabyte drives if all you need to do is a 5-minute production. That'd be kind of useless. You know, it'd be an over-expense on your part. So if you strictly do cable AdNet commercials and they're 1-minute or 30-second spots, then you only need 2 2-gigabyte drives. Why waste the money, you know? We also sell a product called the Feral Effects Generator. The Feral Effects Generator is an infinite window time-based corrector, and it also allows you to do digital picture-in-picture. It's a crystal clear picture-in-picture, and you have the ability to add a second card inside the unit to give you a dual picture-in-picture over top of live video in the background. So if you need 3 windows of video, it's capable to do it. The price for a base unit is $24.95 retail. We sell them for about $1,900.
Many people are using it as a professional business tool. That is not only the event videographer, but it's also very widely used within the entertainment community for music videos, for TV commercials, by advertising agencies. And I think that this product, as well as a couple of products from the Sony product line, have helped to catapult the Hi8 recording format into a category that is now readily accepted by professional users. I think for a long time there was a lot of myth, there was a lot of misconception as to whether or not Hi8 could really yield the resolution that was necessary for editing purposes, as well as whether or not it could be used professionally. And we think that with the introduction of this, it's kind of answered the question it is. So Hi8 is definitely a format that is being selected by many professionals today. And what I'm here to do today is to talk about Canon's L2, which is our interchangeable lens camcorder. It is the flagship within our product line. And just to give you an idea of why the camera is shaped as it is, you can take a look at it and see it's got a most unusual design. And usually when people first look at the camera, they don't quite understand why it looks the way that it does. But one of the advantages to having this unusual design is that it delivers a feature that we call dual action grips, which means that the user can actually grip the camera with a front grip like this, where a zoom control is underneath their fingertips and a start-stop switch is behind their thumb, giving them the ability to hold the camera up to their eye like they might hold a common camcorder. The power adapter is going out on me. In addition to being able to hold it like a regular camcorder like this, if you want to take the weight off of your wrist, you do have an option, because when you hold the camera like this, shakiness usually enters the recording process, because as you zoom out to the telephoto end of the lens, you know that once you magnify your image, you also magnify every shake and every tremor that you make, even while you're breathing or while you're generally hand-holding the camera. So the other advantage to being having this unusual design is that you can grab it by what we call the rear grip, which helps you to identify Canon's 35mm experience. The camera is actually shaped like a 35mm, so that somebody with SLR experience could pick this camera up and immediately become comfortable with it. So now the rear hand grip has a second start-stop switch on the back of the camera body, and then also a second zoom control on the rear, so that if you just through personal preference, or if you're looking for greater comfort or reduction of stress and fatigue, you can now take the camera body down from your face, and by rotating the viewfinder from a horizontal position to a vertical position, you can now find a viewing angle that's going to be comfortable for you, and have the option of controlling the camera either in the front or on the rear. So that's why the camera looks like it does. The total weight of this package, which is a 15x zoom lens, is about 5.5 pounds, so it's really not very heavy relative to a lot of camcorders available in the industry. Now, one of the nice things about the L2 is that despite the fact that it's got a lot of buttons on it, it can be very user-friendly, meaning that I can give this camera to somebody who has literally no video experience whatsoever, and they can count on the fact that they're going to get decent image quality. The camera has a mode selection switch, which allows the user to throw it into automatic, and in automatic, just like most other camcorders today, it will autofocus, it will auto-expose, and it will automatically white balance for the environment that the user is shooting in. However, for people such as yourself who want the ability to manually control what that image is going to be like, you have a full array on the left-hand side of the camera body of different choices to change what the image is going to look like when it's recorded on tape. Now, I want to start to address some of the manual controls that the user has by going into the manual position on the camera mode selector switch, which is up here underneath my index finger. All of these functions on the left-hand side will stay in automatic until you tell them, until you take them out of automatic, until you manually control them. So essentially what that means is you can still have the autofocus active, but you can turn the exposure system into manual, or you can manually white balance the camera and keep any of the other functions in automatic if you so choose to do. Okay? Now, I want to start with the left-hand side of the camera and tell you that some of the easier features that it has is a fade control. The camera fades both audio and video to white. One of the things that I think you'll see as we progress through the features is that the camera is really capable of being a very neat production studio all on its own. While we're going to address some of the issues for recording, a lot of the key features of the camera are very helpful for playback purposes. If you're planning on editing out of the camera body to, let's say, another video source, such as another high-8 camcorder or a VHS deck. So it's got a fade control. Also, autofocus on-off switch to default the autofocus. And one of the other buttons here on the side is a temporary autofocus activation button. It's called Push AF, which means if I default the autofocus system and go into manual focus, if I temporarily want to activate it, just for the length of time that I press this button, I can do that. So I can turn autofocus off, press this button, and for the length of time it's held, it will reactivate autofocus. When I release it, it turns it back to manual. Next, we have a button which is labeled Index Mark. A very helpful feature, because when you sit down to review the tapes that you've shot with the camera, you can place index marks on the tape in order to electronically mark scenes of video that you want to refer back to. You can do that either while you're recording or you can do it while you're playing back. And this electronic index mark is placed on the same track of information where the time code that this unit generates is stored. So imagine if you have 10 different scenes of video, and you knew that scene number 3 was something of great value to you that you wanted to come back to and identify very quickly, when you record scene 3, you could press the index mark, and then with the use of a remote control, while you're playing back, you can instruct the camera to find index mark number 3, and it will immediately go to that, either forward or reversing. And you can store up to 99 index marks on an individual cassette. Okay? That's index mark. The next is a high-speed shutter button. Typical on video cameras, this will allow you to select a high-speed shutter, 7 modes up to 1/10,000th of a second when you're recording fast action.
Basically, again, the name of our company's Music Cube Productions, and we're involved not only in the buyout library, but we also have 2 publishing companies. I really wanted to address some issues that that we are faced with all the time when people call up. We get many questions from people, ranging from someone calling up going, can you sell us a version of Wind Beneath Your Wings? We'd like to use it in our video. To people saying, how can we obtain the rights to certain pieces of music? To people actually asking questions about the legalities of music. Basically, what I'm going to try to cover here quickly is just some of the different options that are available to people for using music other than a music library such as ourselves, or a needle drop library. When I go through this, if you have any questions or anything like that, I'll be glad to answer them. There's a couple myths that exist too when it comes to licensing music. Especially people just getting into the business, and they've heard the different horror stories about having to deal with ASCAP and BMI and how to go about it and all of that involvement. One of the things that I think I should make real clear to begin with is, if you're first starting out in this business and you're basically doing this for your own edification, and you're basically a hobby video person, and you're doing nature videos and what have you, and you're not reselling these. These are pieces that are going to be shown to your own family or tight group of friends or what have you. You basically can use anything that you would like to use. It's considered a non-for-profit situation. When you start thinking, when you should start thinking perhaps about using licensed music is maybe when you're going to begin to transcend from a hobby situation to an actual professional situation. You've been maybe doing it a couple years now, and now you're going to start putting together a demo reel. A demo reel that features the work that you do. At that point, that's when you want to begin to consider using some form of licensed music. Real briefly, to give you an overview, the different forms of licensed music, some of the different forms that you can use that people hear the terms and don't quite understand what they are and how they work. First of all, obviously, starting from the bottom up, there's a buyout. A buyout basically means you are going to share a licensing right to use music in any format, any market area, broadcast or non-broadcast. And a buyout license basically means for the next 99 years you can use it. You're paying for it once and you're using it forever. People also hear of the terms needle down, needle drop, blanket license. That basically refers to libraries that will charge you on an annual basis or a per production basis. And you're going to report the pieces of music that you've used. You're going to pay on a production basis or a blanket license. Another way that people can use music and have tried to use music and are confused as to how to use the music is public domain. Believe me, if you've heard this all before and you're versed on this, you don't have to stay here. Public domain music basically means, and the copyright laws at this time currently are 75 years. Every 75 years, a copyright has to be renewed. If you want to use a piece of music that is within the public domain, and it's older than 75 years, you can use the original recording. The one anomaly there is the chances are you're not going to want to use the original recording because it's not going to be too good of an audio quality. So you're going to want to have it reperformed. Well, the next thing someone does is go, well, gee, I know that John Williams has got a wonderful version of that piece, and I would like to use that. Well, there is a way to go about that, and that is you would contact agencies such as ASCAP, BMI, Harry Fox, CSACs. You write them a letter, you tell them the music that you want to use, they do the research for you, and they'll get back to you usually within a month or two and let you know what it's going to cost to use. They're going to want to know how you want to use it. And that is a way to use public domain music that has been re-performed. If you want and you find the cost of that is pretty extensive, another way to go about it is just to have another artist re-perform it for you. You can go to artists and they will re-perform public domain music for you, and the fees are going to vary very much, anywhere from a couple $100 to $1,000. So that's basically public domain music. When you deal with public domain music, you're usually doing a lot of research to find the different pieces and where they exist. Again, the easiest way to go about it is just to contact ASCAP, BMI, the Library of Congress, and they'll tell you who the publishers are, who the composer is. They'll give you all the information, and from there you can begin to waddle through all that information and decide if that particular piece is worth going after. When people talk about copyright infringement and what can happen to you and this and that, the basic bottom line on that is, as the law states it, you can face fines from anywhere from $500 to, they say, up to $25,000 for a first-time offense. Again, when you're working in situations that are a non-profit situation, you don't have to worry about that. So I guess what I'm saying is yes, buyout is a wonderful idea, and I as a vendor would love to see you buy from us all the time. But I wanted you all to know that there are other options to you, and that all the confusion and frustration that people feel when they think about ASCAP and BMI and dealing with licenses and, gee, I don't want to deal with it, I'm just going to use it. That really many times there are ways for certain projects you may be working on that you can use music that you would really like to use on a grand scale. And depending on what you're going to be using it for, find that you don't have to pay much of a fee, if any of a fee at all.
Well, we're coming out with a new wireless microphone dubbed the Producer Series. It's designed for event videographers, even broadcast video. This will be the first year we'll be exhibiting at the NAB show. The Producer Series has a 111R receiver that can be used balanced or unbalanced with volume adjustment for the microphone output, headphone output. We have 10 frequencies available in the VHF band. And we're offering it in lavalier system body pack with omni or unidirectional mics, a handheld, and also a plug-in transmitter that'll turn wired XLR mics into a wireless. Now, what sets us apart, number one, is our quality control. At the price level we're selling stuff for, most of the systems are in the $150 to $180 range for labs and handhelds. The things we do with our systems that are a little different than some other people is in our Pro Series there's actually a 2-frequency selectable. So there's 2 crystals in there. If you run into some interference on one frequency, you can just easily switch to the alternate. I don't think any of our competitors are doing that. At this price point, we're also the smallest, most compact in the receivers and transmitters. And basically, people seem to be very happy with the RF performance, with the audio performance. And that might be shown by the Pro's been out for 7 years, and sales have increased by good, probably double-digit percentage over the last 7 years, every single year. We've got a Diversity 311DR, a low-price diversity system. The only manufacturer, I believe, in this price range that's using die-cast, not die-cast, but actually an aluminum chassis for the receivers to shield against RF. We've got a discrete 2-channel non-diversity system and a single-channel non-diversity. And these are also available with handheld lavalier, plug-in transmitter, and also we have a guitar transmitter.
We offer buyout production music. We offer 2 different lines. One is called a specialty series and one is called a broadcast series. The basic difference is in the specialty series you get a real, each CD is specifically targeted for a specific type of music. If you're doing weddings, we've got a wedding CD, or if you're doing corporate videos, we have a corporate CD, etc. In the broadcast series you get a mixture or a real wide variety of music on each CD. The different categories that come on each broadcast CD are sports, mellow, corporate, country, rock, high-tech, atmospheric, and urban. And you get each theme comes in a full song-length version, followed by a 60-second, a 30-second, a 15, and a 10. And on some cuts, you also get what we call an AV rhythm section mix, which simply means the lead instrument is taken out and it's rhythm tracks only. Everything's priced the same. They're $59 per CD. You can buy individually. You don't have to buy, everything we have in the specialty series. You can buy just the nature disc if you want. And there is a blanket $5 shipping per order, not per CD, but per order. You can call our 800 number, which is 800-755-8729. We can demo stuff over the phone for you. We are one of the few buyout libraries that do have a large commercial recording facility, so we do have the capability to record a lot of real acoustic instruments. And we've been doing that for about 10 or 12 years, and have recently, in about the past 4 or 5 years, gotten into the buyout music library business.
I'm the animator for Special Event Video, and I provide 3D animation for logos or process animations or SIV. I use an Amiga 2000, accelerated Amiga 2000 with Imagine 3.0 software. Sometimes I get input from customers, what they want. A lot of times I just kind of let my imagination just run away and see what happens. And if they want to fax storyboard ideas or any information they would want on the animation, I would take that and just keep getting back with them, discussing what we need to do, and probably send them a wireframe demo first to get their approval before I did the final rendering. Right now I'm doing mostly Super VHS, but I'm also able to do probably any Beta SP or any, just depends on the customer. If they want something higher, I'll find a way to do it.
Hi, I'm Brent Conrad, co-founder of the APV. I hope you enjoyed this year's trade show video. We have some exciting new programs and services in store for the APV membership this year. And first of all, we're proud to be debuting our new APV animated logo. APV members can use this logo on their productions to show their membership status. As you saw at the beginning of the video, the animation is keyable over live footage. It was created by APV member Marcia Murphy from Rabbite Computer Graphics. A High 8 or Super VHS copy is available of the logo from Marcia Murphy, and you can call her at area code 609-627-1010. The cost is $20 plus $5 shipping and handling. Now let's hear from APV co-founder Roseanne Conrad about the APV Institute.
We have recently come under the auspices of Penn State University, and we're now able to offer APV members another educational opportunity. That opportunity is going to be entitled the APV Institute of Video and Multimedia Technology. We'll be having classes throughout the country. Our first one will be held in June at the Penn State Altoona campus, and our second one will most probably be held during our next convention in January of 1996 in New Orleans, Louisiana. And those classes will actually be a choice of the attendee. They can choose one of 4 classes. Each one of those classes will be 30 hours long and will be instructed by a professional or expert in the field that they have chosen. For our first series of classes, we have editing, camera technique, we have lighting course, we have a multimedia course, and a video business course. Each of those courses will be very unique and will be very inclusive as far as the educational opportunity they will receive. Upon completion of the course, the attendee will receive a certificate from Penn State University that is valued at 3 continuing ed units. They'll also receive a certificate from the APV, which will show merits gained towards certification as a professional certified videographer, and that will be 8 merits towards a 16 merit total required for certification. So the Institute is very valuable in that it can offer both continuing ed units from Penn State University and certification merits towards APV certification.
The APV is now offering video clip art. It's available on Macintosh and IBM discs or through a 30-page booklet ready for cut and paste applications. You can use video clip art on your letterhead, business cards, or anywhere where you promote your business on paper. Also just out are the new APV t-shirts, available without corny phrase or with. Don't forget to wear your APV pin with pride while on shoots, and as always, we have APV windbreakers, coffee mugs, and gold ID labels available for you. Remember, APV members can apply APV bucks towards any APV product or service, including the annual convention, Prova entries, or APV Institute. You can earn 25 APV bucks for every new member you bring into the association. Just be sure to have your name listed as their sponsor on the new member application form. You can even apply APV bucks towards any video in the APV Instructional series. The 11th tape in our lineup is called Least Access Profit TV. Here are some scenes from that.
Imagine your own business featured on local television for 8 solid, uninterrupted minutes. Imagine it running over and over again, reaching out to the 43,000 households and 100,000 people on the Time Warner cable system. For as little as $15 per minute of airtime, including production, you can be promoting your company's products and services on cable. For the first time, you can get low-cost, long-form television exposure on Blair County Business Showcase, brought to you by Vivicon Productions. Now here's a look at our first show. For a 1-month run on our show, a company would pay $1,000 for production and $500 for inclusion in the program for a total cost of $1,500. Of course, no additional rights for usage would be granted. Under this pricing structure, we hope to net over $3,000 per month in cash flow for every 1-hour least access program we produce.
Well, that's going to do it for this year's Equipment Trade Show video. APV members may copy this tape if they wish to. It can serve as a handy recruiting tool for those looking to earn APV bucks. We leave you now with the animated APV logo one more time with sound bed.